What's up, guys? Derek here from the Scrub Effect. We're on episode 7 of Everlasting Summer. Let's go. We headed towards my cabin. Roughly halfway there, Slavia stopped me. Hey, I just remembered, the cards are in my cabin. Good timing. And where's that? It's just down this road, let's go. We reached a cabin that, in fact, looked more like a trailer. Just wait here a minute, I'll be right back. It took her a few seconds to come back. There, she showed me a deck of pretty worn out cards. These must be marked in and out. That's unsportsmanlike. What happened to fair play? Tell me about it. It's hard to cheat when you don't know the rules. Shall we go? Let's go. ... On our way back, I decided to try and find out about something. How long have you been here? In this camp? About a week. I see. And where did you come from? I'm from the north. That is, the cold north. She looked at me and smiled. Looks like nobody in this camp is inclined to answer even the most innocent of questions. I tried to approach from another angle. And what do you like? What do you mean? Well, your hobbies. Oh, I like nature. Strange. She's not very talkative today for some reason. Nature? I see. Want to become a natural historian? More like a normal historian. I was always interested in our nation's history. That would suit her well indeed. It appeared that among all the locals, she was the only one who had nothing to hide. What if she came here just like me, and simply could not trust anyone enough to tell? I tried testing the waters. And why did you choose this camp? I didn't. My parents got a voucher for me from their work. Another failure. Well, if you could choose, it's nice here. I don't think I would choose some other place if I could. Here it's like you're becoming another person. That wasn't how I saw it. What do you mean, another person? It's just there's so many possibilities. You can learn so much, meet so many new, interesting people here. Now she started to sound like our chief, which raised a red flag for me. I decided to stop the questions for now. Back at the canteen. When we came back, Olga told Slavia, I just remember that the cards were at your place. It's okay, we got it. Good, good. Slavia and Olga went inside. I was gonna follow, but someone grabbed my hand. Oh no. Alyssa! Her gaze sent a shiver down my spine. Not a nice one. You want something? I asked carefully. You're gonna play this stupid game? Yes, something wrong with that? Nope, nothing. She was turning to leave, but then slowly looked back and smiled. So you play cards? A little. I can figure out what she wanted. So only Durak and that's it? Durak, card game popular in USSR, similar to President. I don't know that game either. As if you're a poker star. Well, yes, technically. Then you don't have a chance. Why? Because. So you know the rules? Of course. Well, then you'll have the upper hand. I couldn't see why would we go on talking, motion towards the door. What? Why do you keep trying to leave? Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Let's make a bet. What do you mean? You're such a slowpoke. The cards, what else? And what do you want to bet on? Bet I'll win. That's quite a possible outcome. I agreed calmly. So you are afraid? No, I'm not. I'm not big on bets when I don't like my chances. And you're not big on taking risks, too. Such an astute observation. I'm impressed. Right then. No, you're not. Now what? I sighed in exhaustion. She was starting to annoy me with the rubbish talk about some pointless bet. If you won't bet with me, I'll tell everyone that you tried to seduce me. What? You heard me. Ah, come on. I can imagine her doing this. Don't be stupid. Who's gonna believe you? I've been here less than 2 days. Besides, want to try your luck? Right. And what will happen if I win? I won't tell anyone anything. And if I lose? Slowpoke mode again? I'll tell everyone you tried to seduce me. I told you already. So you're telling me that if I have to work to prove that I didn't do something, that I didn't actually do it? If that's how you want to look at it. Not a simple decision. On the one hand, it was stupid to agree. I didn't know the rules and gambling wasn't my thing. On the other hand, she could really make my life hell. Then again, can I even trust her? She can do it even if I win. So, have you made a decision? I was gonna answer, but suddenly Lena came around me from behind. What? Nothing. Lena hurried inside. So? I don't know, guys. If we win, it's... I don't really like her, though. We'll play along. I may regret it 100 times. Fine, I'll do it. She smiled. But if I win, yeah, all fair, no cheating. Alyssa turned and went into the stairs inside the canteen. Why am I doing this? Crap, did I make the wrong decision? Because she can set me up regardless if she wants to, since she decided to anyway. I let out a heavy sigh and followed her through the door. Inside, everything was ready. A few pioneers stood here and there chatting. The tables were moved out of the way to make room for players and spectators. I looked around. Something was going on in the far corner. When I came closer, I saw a large piece of paper with a diagram drawn on it. My name was among the players. And who came up with all this? What? Wait, am I the... I think I'm the guy that's like blocked out. I patted Electronic, who was standing near. Well, of course it was your most humble servant. He bowed to me jokingly. This made me uncomfortable, to the point of squirming. And why in the world am I among the players, then? I was disappointed. A few seconds ago, I thought I still had a slim chance to evade this tournament. Then I wouldn't have to fear Alyssa's revenge for losing the bet with her. But now that hope was gone. It was pure coincidence. Yeah, right, coincidence. Except that I had already acquainted with everyone of the contestants. While there are a few dozen other pioneers standing in the room, I seized by anxiety. It's the feeling of being watched while standing in the empty room with no windows and doors. Will there be a prize? I asked him lazily. I wanted to distract myself with a pointless conversation. Electronic was just about to answer when Ilyana came out of nowhere and started jumping around him. Prizes, prizes! I heard something about prizes. Do you know what the main ethos of the Olympic Games? Do you know what is the main ethos of the Olympic Games? It's not the winning, but taking part that counts. Oh, what? No. You'll understand when you grow up. She made a wry face and jabbed Electronic in the ribs. So what about that prize? Well, I don't know. It's not up to me. He made a helpless gesture. Really, if they came up with this stupid game, at least they could give the winner a chocolate medal or something. Ilyana suddenly jumped and raced off somewhere. I wish I was that optimistic. So what about the rules? Wait a bit. Not everyone's here yet. I looked around canteen. Alyssa, Slavia, Lena, Miku, and Sharik were there. Seems like everyone is here. Not everyone. Senya's not here. Does he feel uneasy, or is it just me? She's not here? So what? Pick someone else instead. No, I can't do that, he answered slowly. Oh, no, I can't do that. I decided not to ask exactly why he can't do this. Well, go fetch her or something, I don't know. He can't go, he's the host of the event. The camp leader appeared as if from nowhere. But Olga, Electronic whined. Semyon will go. Right, Semyon? She looked at me and smiled. Of course, who else? Where is she? In the library, I guess. Okay. Dragged my feet towards the door. Please hurry. What's Electronic's problem anyway? So we need to go find a girl and I guess, sure. I was going to take my time, so I slowly paced towards the library. But I found Xenia before I even expected. She was sitting on a bench at the square staring at Genda, who was silent as always. What are you doing here? Everyone's looking for you. Sitting here, as you can see, she frowned. Well, let's go. I don't want to. She looked away. Why not? I don't want to. I sat beside her. Listen, I don't like the idea of this contest myself, but we can't let everyone down. I surely didn't sound like myself there. A couple of days ago, I wouldn't even think of saying something like that. Zinni looked at me with no surprise on her face. So everyone's waiting for me? Is that exactly what I said? Yes. I won't go anyway. She frowned and hid her face. But why? I gestured with my arms, wondering. I don't know how to play cards. So what? Same problem here. Then how can you play? What? You can only do things that you read about in the books or something? Of course. She was surprised. And what if you end up in Antarctica and have to rely on hunting polar bears to survive? Polar bears don't live in Antarctica. Doesn't matter, it's just an example. Come on, it's not like someone's life depends on the result. She took her time to think. I just don't want to let anyone down, right? I agreed sarcastically. Don't you think anything funny about that? I didn't get what she meant, but anyway, obviously everyone has their weak spots. In a minute, we were both back at the canteen. Everyone looked at Electronic. So, he cleared his throat. Each round consists of one game. In case of a draw, you replay the game. After this, the loser drops out, and the next round begins. Since the number of volunteers, he looked at me. Since the number of players is just 8, we'll have only 3 rounds. Is everything clear? We didn't want to play your stupid game, Electronic. The crowd cheered. And what are the prizes? Prizes, what are they? Ilyana, cut it out. Slavia stepped forward and tried to catch Ilyana. I won't rest until the prize is mine. Seemed like this girl alone had enough energy to warp jump to Alpha. I don't know. Prizes, prizes, she repeated it over and over. Stop it. Slavia tried to reason with her. Electronic seemed to be getting dizzy from all this running around. Let's start already, I said calmly and added to Ilyana. Or you won't get any prizes. Looks like my argument got through to her. She took her place. Slavia followed her, giving me a grateful smile as she passed. The pioneers finally settled down. I approached the table that Lena sat behind. You don't mind? She looked up and blushed. Don't worry, I don't know the rules myself. And how can I be so sure that it's not only myself? I sat down. Turns out we'll have to play the first round together. Yes. Finally, Electronic started to explain the rules. Look at the cards carefully. There are exactly 6 of them in front of you. I hope everyone here knows how to count. Now you can look at them. After everyone had a look at their cards, Electronic moved on. The rules here are similar to poker. I hope everyone knows how to play. I knew the rules, but I wasn't too sure about the others. First of all, it's a top card, then 1 pair, then 2 pairs, then 3 of a kind, and so on. No flushes or straights, though. In the first round, you choose a card, which you would like to take from your opponent. In turn, your opponent can choose to swap 2 of his cards around twice, or he can choose not to do so, if he doesn't need the card which you are taking. Take note that your opponent can see which cards are trading places. In the next step, your opponent takes a card he chooses, and so on. I think it's pretty clear. It wasn't too clear to me. Hey you, Einstein, Ilyana yelled at him from her table. I didn't get a thing. You'll figure it out as we go. Electronic went to the table with the diagram, leaving Ilyana to smolder in solitude. You go first. I hoped I would get my mind around the game as fast enough. Lena, more perplexed than usual, reached out to my cards. In the middle of her table, her hand stopped. Will you... Oh yeah, I could be protecting my card. What was it Electronic said? Try to confuse my opponent. I can swap 2 of the cards. Twice? Or I can choose not to. Should I protect it or not? By the way, I can also agree to give her the card she chose straight away. Otherwise, Lena can change her mind and take another card if she wants to. Or she might not. You can have that pedo bear. No, have the pedo. Dang it! Things became more clear, or at least comprehensible. Now it's my turn. I can take my card from her, or I can choose another one. I want that one. Lena can choose a protector card, but if I watch her closely, I can take the card I choose regardless of her movements. I guess mine wasn't important. Did this one. Yeah, I got a 4. I made it. Electronic, who was silent watching the game, nodded in approval. Now it's like we're getting somewhere. Now, during the round, opponents trade cards 3 times. Keep an eye on each other. Penetrate your opponent with your eyes. I chuckled. Penetrate. Okay, great. So I think our the main character, the main protagonist, his youth may have came back, but all of his youth came back, including laughing at childish jokes like penetrate. It's so funny. Oh, never mind. I tried to keep a straight face. He stared at me for a moment, then moved on. Then we can turn the cards up to see whose hand is better. Electronic went back to his diagram. No. You can have my 6, I guess. That one. I guess I still want that one. I still want that one. Okay then. What is with these cards? Ah! You can have Lena. That would be really awkward to get that card. Oh boy. Alright. Alright, I want that one. Okay, never mind. No, you can... No, you can... Aww. That was my king, man. I want it back. Still want it back. I still want it back. I selected the wrong one, didn't I? Well, poop. Fail? What? Did I fail? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, okay. I lose. Still frustrating to lose anyway. I left the canteen. I was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. Where should I head to? We haven't really been to, well, we haven't been inland much either. Let's go to the beach. I came to the beach. It was not in the best mood, and I really had no desire to swim, but I still came to the water's edge and tried the water with my hand. The water was warm. It seemed like it was still cooling down after such a hot day. Well, perhaps some other time I will come back to swim. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I entered the cabin quietly, stripped and laid in bed. When you think about it, my situation hadn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I spent the whole day doing useless stuff. I've never even thought about doing something like this in the real world, although I had plenty of time. How much time would I have here in total is still a mystery. Maybe an eternity. Maybe there are only a few minutes left. I just didn't want to think about the past, about how I got to this camp. For the first time in a long while, I felt really tired. Not only emotionally tired, but I also felt physically tired, psychologically tired, and God knows how else tired. I just wanted everyone and everything to shove off, starting with my own thoughts. I wanted this mess somehow resolved by itself, or at least without my active participation. And what if I'm stuck here forever? Then I'll have to get used to it. So just like that, I'm not ready. Ahem. My consciousness slowly drifted away from me, and it became progressively harder to concentrate on something distinct. Perhaps it's better to wait until tomorrow. I rolled over and fell asleep. Day 3. I don't really know how many days are in this, but I guess we'll find out later. The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted, both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects. Then you wake up in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. But what part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely? At 7 a.m., according to the clock. I seemed to be early bird today. Olga was still sleeping, wrapped tightly in her blanket. Wrapping so tightly in hot summer? Whatever. I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I'd better shave. Strange idea. Before, twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9 a.m. This means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem as cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. I still don't know what it is, so... When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair. Good morning, Semyon. Morning. Because of the lack of sleep, my head was still singing. My thoughts were all jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in for 2 or 3 hours more. How come you got up so early? It just happened. And no neckerchief once again. Let me see. I'll do it myself, not a big deal. On my way to the canteen. I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast? How could I ever forget? And what's the lineup going to be about today? We'll discuss the agenda for the day. So what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I could manage to avoid enemy locations. You'll find that out at the lineup. She gave me a wily smile. Olga, my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather, I believe that's okay to miss the lineup once. It could get all nasty if I failed to control it right there. Where did all this courage come from? You have 5 more minutes. I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try. But just in case it all goes down. Oh, fine. On your list today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, some other minor tasks, and, of course, we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today. You bet. Definitely. And now I'd rather... Come on, let's hit the road. I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way, but the voice within me kept telling me I had nothing to do at the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. Ooh, we're playing hooky. Well, I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seem perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't have suspected anything wrong. They seem to be more normal and natural than, let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an ordinary place. I've heard and seen that already, somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day. They don't understand that the world around them is not what it looks like. Okay, but this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of Sevyanek camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave in a normal way. Normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now. Are those people involved in what's happening to me? Can they give me any answers, or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? Let's seek the truth next episode. Bye!